Good morning. Starting day 5. Coming out of Bailey. Spent a little time in Bailey, 2 days there, kind of resting and healing up. Had some food, cleaned up my gear, washed my clothes, and mainly just rested while I was there. So starting this next segment is going to take us from Bailey to the Breckenridge, Frisco area. And starting out this morning on day 5, we're starting out with an immediate climb of about 2,200 feet over the next about 6 miles. So we'll be getting up to about 10,200 feet today. So this will be our first day to get over the 10,000 foot mark, and should be probably about 4 days before we get into Breckenridge, Frisco area. Most likely, or I'll definitely be staying in Frisco instead of Breckenridge because I have something coming to the post office there in Frisco. So yeah, ready to get started with this climb. It's beautiful out this morning. Had a lot of storms come in. Not a lot of storms. We had a minor storm come in that brought in a lot of rain, and but some really cool temperatures. So I think right now it is about 55 to 60 degrees out here right now, which is, man, it feels amazing after those first 4 days where it was so hot. So smells great, great temperatures, ready to start climbing and get on down the road. So we'll talk to you later. Hey there. So on these long distance through hikes, hikers pick up trail names, usually given to them by someone that they've met or hiked with. So I picked up the name Night Ranger on the PCT from some guys who really liked that I did pretty much the entire desert section, or large portions of it, at nighttime to avoid the heat and because I couldn't sleep. My wife, her trail name is Taz, like Tasmanian Devil from the Bugs Bunny cartoons, because when she gets going on the downhills, she hates those steep descents. She gets a little crazy, starts yelling out some crazy stuff like the Tasmanian Devil would do. Trying to keep track of the ones I meet on the Colorado Trail. So far, I have met Town Legs, Hot Feet, No Way, Cheese, Mumbles, and Nomad, and a guy named Marty. And doesn't have his trail name just yet. So, all right, that's it. Hey, so a little less glamorous talk about backpacking and through hiking. A lot of really cool stuff that gets glamorized on social media, which is great, and because it's all, you know, the good stuff is true, but there's some less glamorous stuff, like you know, the higher up you get altitude wise, something happens and your body has more gas and you've got to get rid of it. I heard the term the other day for the first time called altitudes. So yeah, sometimes you're walking along the trail and it's like, you know, every step you're getting rid of some air. Sometimes you don't feel comfortable that it's only air that's going to come out. So there's a podcast I listen to a lot and about backpacking, and I bet it's like every other episode they have someone on there telling a funny poop story. And I don't want one of those stories. I would prefer to not have any funny poop stories for the rest of my backpacking career. I don't have any yet. So when I'm walking along and I don't feel comfortable that it's only air that's going to come out, you know, you just have to find a place, peel off, and take your trowel, some paper, go down there and find you a spot to dig what we call a cat hole and take care of your business and hit the trail again. You know, I have to, I'm a little bit older, you know, at 56 years old, getting down in that squatting position is not as easy as it once was, especially with a kind of a bum knee. So someone was talking about there's different methods, and I always look for a tree close by that I can kind of hang on to, and then kind of lower myself into a squatted position and kind of hold that. Someone referred to it as the pole dancer position. I thought that was pretty funny, and that's kind of my preferred position, though, the pole dancer method. All right, I guess that's enough of that chit chat for now. But okay, bye. Videos never do the incline justice. This is not super steep, but it's enough to where it's just slow and steady. One step at a time. Look up there, it's all the way around that bend and still up even further. Hi, Den. About 3/4 of a mile from the top of this climb. I'm officially over 10,000 feet elevation right now. If I'm not mistaken, that's lichen. If I'm wrong and somebody catches me on that, just let me know. I'm sorry. Pretty sure it is, and I haven't seen that since Oregon and Washington. Very green in here right now. I like it. I like it a lot. With the temperature right now, cloudiness, the dampness of the trail, all the green, the smell, certainly brings back Oregon and Washington memories. This is amazing hiking today. Just got up to the high point that we hit today at like 10,600 feet and slowly descending a little bit down to like 10,000 or so. But man, this weather, drastic difference from those first few days. Breeze, cloud cover. It's noon and it's like, I don't know, maybe 67 degrees. Got a nice flat section here to hike on. Done with the hard climb. Just cruise on into camp later on this evening. Sure, it's not gonna be like, it's gonna have some rough points, I'm sure, but I love this. Love it. Wow, look at this view. The valley down there, those mountains, just beautiful. What an amazing day of hiking it's been. Hey, a quick day 5 wrap up here. Talk a little quiet. Got people camped around me, so I don't want to be too annoying. Beautiful hiking day. Made it from Bailey to mile 53.6, which is a good distance. I'm happy with that. Just an amazing hike all day. Weather was great. Got sprinkled on some. Got a pretty good storm coming in right now, so I got set up just before that hit. That initial climb, that 2,200 feet over 6 miles or so, it was challenging, but the weather was so good today, and I think it was like, I don't know, it seemed like it was like mid 50s, and then occasionally jumped up to like maybe mid 60s when the sun came out. But really enjoyable hike today. So stopping here at mile 53.6, gonna make some dinner. Kind of got a mess in here because I had to throw everything inside the tent real quick because the storm was coming in, and make something to eat, and probably filter this water tomorrow. I don't feel like doing that tonight, and I think that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up, get something to eat, and clean up, and go to sleep here in a little bit. All right, have a good night. First chance you get after a rainy night, dry your gear. You never know when it's going to start raining again out here. And you don't want to get stuck at camp with wet gear, and you don't want to carry that extra weight of wet gear. So as soon as you have time, it's only 7:20 right now. The sun's out strong, found a good spot, hung everything out to dry. Good morning, it is day 6 out here on the Colorado Trail. And had a good storm come in last night. Temperatures have been cool. Got a lot of the gear wet, so as I just showed you, that's all hanging out to dry. And let's see, started at mile 53 this morning. Got about 5 miles in already this morning, and it is 7:30. And debating on at about the 16-mile mark is where the hitch is to get into the little small community of Jefferson, where I was kind of planning on going in there, hitchhiking in, doing a resupply, just a small resupply, and hitchhiking back out. So I carried less food from Bailey, knowing that I was going to go into Jefferson and resupply before I get into Breckenridge. Unlike, let's see, today's Friday, so I'll be getting into Breckenridge like Monday or Tuesday. But I think I'm going to do a little food inventory and see if I really need to go into Jefferson. If I can stretch my food, I'm making good miles. I can make it to Breckenridge by Monday morning. I think I won't need to do that. So I'll do a little bit of that food inventory while I'm here taking a break, letting all my gear dry. And all right, that's it for the morning, and I'll check in with you later. Hey there, just a quick walking update. Let's see, so decided to shoot for Kenosha Pass this evening. It's probably about 9.5 miles from there now, so Kind of expected maybe 4 o'clock, 4:30, maybe 5, who knows, somewhere in that range. Decided to not go into Jefferson to resupply on food because I technically could make it on what I have. It would be a little tough and I would be a little bit hungry. But at Kenosha Pass, there is a campground and there's a camp host there. Trail name is Smurf. And he has a hiker box that he keeps there. And you can always find some power bars and some food in those hiker boxes. So that's really all I need is like maybe 3 energy bars or something. That should be good. Also, I think he does trail magic there sometimes and like feeds the hikers. So that would help save a meal. So I'm gonna push on through, and unless something crazy happens, looks like Breckenridge / Frisco by Monday, and this is Friday. And hike's going very, very good. Not as sore as I was, more energy. The lighter pack has helped out. The 5 pounds of stuff or so that I sent back home has been a big bonus. Water has been easier to find, so I've been able to get away with carrying like 1 liter, pretty much, maybe 2 at the most. That is a huge win. Temperature's way down, way cooler. Overall, just going really, really well right now. And all right, that's it. And looks like we're walking right into another storm. Do I stop, set up my shelter now? I am easily still 5 miles away from my goal campsite. Or do I push through, chance it, just throw on my poncho? I don't know. Yeah, there's that cool breeze that comes in. Some rumbling thunder. These storms are weird though. They'll come on, then they'll just kind of vanish. And they'll come back. Well, I'll let you know what I decide later. Well, I decided to push on into the storm. And it's paid off so far. So far. That could change any time. Get some light sprinkles right now. Some cool wind, which feel really good. So I'm not complaining about that. That's actually a bonus. I hate you, Mama. Starting to pick up a little bit. I hope I don't regret the decision, but sometimes you got to take a little gamble. Otherwise, it just ain't no adventure. If you always just playing it safe. Know what I'm saying? Got my poncho tied around my waist, just in case I need it. Got my, it's actually a sunbrella, but I brought it mostly for rain and hail. So I'm prepared if the rain picks up. Don't really care too much about getting myself wet. I just don't like my gear getting wet. A little picky about that. Me likes a dry tent and a dry sleeping bag to get into at night. Bye. All right, well, I'm passing the time here, trying to make it to Kenosha Pass for the campsite. Thought maybe we could go over another funny through hiking term. Remember yesterday we talked about altitudes and everything that goes along with that. There's another one. It's called churning butter. When you're hiking all day long, get hot, you're sweaty. Well, a lot of sweat also builds up between your butt cracks. Cracks. Between your butt crack. That sweat rubbing back and forth while your cheeks are rubbing back and forth. It's making butter. The reason I thought of that to tell you guys about it is because I feel like I'm churning some butter right now. Oh, and if you decide to throw some powder back there to help with the chafing, then it's called making cakes. You like that kind of information? Hoochie mama. Oh, probably 2.7 miles from camp, I bet. I'm trusting that there's something in that hiker box. I've got enough food for breakfast and dinners. It's just the in-between where I ain't got much. Sunflower seeds are not doing the trick. Although I do love those dill pickle sunflower seeds. Bye. All right, so I made it to the top of Kenosha Pass like I was shooting for. Never had an issue with the storms, and once again, just like last night, as soon as I get my camp set up, the rain starts. No big storms like last night though so far, just some, maybe a step above sprinkling. And but there's the camp host here at this campground. He's kind of a trail angel. He does stuff for hikers. Has a hiker box out in front of his trailer, an ice chest full of sodas that we can take whatever we want. I was really counting on that hiker box to find a couple of like power bars or something that I could use for lunches the next couple of days. The only thing I found was this can of like Denny Moore beef stew. I was like, I can't use that. Can's too heavy. I'm not carrying that in my backpack. And then the genius that I am just said, well, eat it tonight and save your freeze-dried meals for tomorrow and the next day. And so I'm not even have to use my cooking pot and clean it. Just take the label off, put it on the fire, cook it straight in the can. And got a free dinner and a free, I don't know, some kind of Sprite, Kroger big case citrus drop. I'm all set. All right, so wrapping up day 6. Man, they're all blending together. All right, so we got to Kenosha Pass. Remember I was telling you earlier that I was gonna try to push through and try to get by on the food that I have without going into the little community of Jefferson to do a small resupply. I was just gonna rely on this hiker box that I knew would be at the campgrounds here. I think I told you in that last little video, they didn't really have much in there in that hiker box except a can of like this beef stew. It was really good. And so I ate that for dinner, and that helped me to save one of my freeze-dried dinners
So basically I have an extra dinner in my pack, which will serve as a lunch, because remember I told you earlier that I was good on breakfast and dinners, but I really didn't have a whole lot to eat in between. So in the, he also had some what's called trail magic up there, just some free stuff for the through hikers coming through. One ice chest had a can of sodas, and I had 2 of those. I had a Sam's Cola and a Sam's Citrus, kind of like Sprite. And then there was another ice chest that had fruit in it. It had those, man, my mind's going blank. Those little mini oranges, cuties. It had a bunch of those and some little bitty miniature apples. So I've loaded up on, actually I got 2 of those. I already ate them. And before I leave in the morning, I'm gonna go back over there and get, there was a bunch. So, and fruit, I'm afraid, always ends up going bad anyway. So I'm gonna get a pretty good amount of fruit over there tomorrow before I head out. And that will serve as my meals between breakfast and dinner. So, and I have a freeze-dried ice cream sandwich that will work. So I'll be good. A little hungry, but we'll make it just fine. Let's see. So, man, my mind is just blank. I'm tired. I'm really sore too. Today is Friday, and do a couple of long days on Saturday and Sunday, and that will mean on Monday I'll get into Breckenridge / Frisco pretty early on Monday. So like around maybe 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday, if everything goes good. The storms, there seem to be that they're always going to come in around like 2 o'clock or so, which I was kind of prepared for. No, I mean, I was really prepared for it. I'd watched enough videos and enough podcasts to know that that was kind of the norm.
Good morning. It is day 7. And so we got some storms last night, but nothing like the previous night. So I've got a little bit of wet gear that I'm gonna need to dry out as soon as we get the sun out. Starting out cloudy. Very cool this morning. If I had to guess, I would say it was probably about 42 this morning. Enough to where I need to put this fleece on. Almost needed gloves packing up the tent, but got away without them. Stayed there at the camp last night, the campgrounds at Kenosha Pass. Had a couple of free sodas, a free can of Campbell's beef stew soup that was left in the hiker box, which came in very handy. I was starving. I am low on food. I will make it just fine, but I am low on calories. Probably should have went into Jefferson and got a few things, but I don't know. Sometimes I like to do a little challenging stuff like that. Makes it a little bit more of an adventure. Now I got to figure out how to come up with a little bit of extra food. There may be trail magic. It's the weekends, so there could be trail magic at maybe one of the trailheads that we come across, if we come across any today. I haven't really dove into the map this morning to see what was coming up. I'll do that when the sun comes out. I'll dry my gear and make some oatmeal, and then see if it looks like there might be a chance for some trail magic. Otherwise, I snagged 4 of those little oranges out of the trail magic ice chest this morning. So that's something. Need the vitamin C anyway, I'm sure. Met a couple of guys from North Carolina. We've been kind of leapfrogging each other. They're just doing a section hike. They're going from Bailey to Breckenridge. So they're going the same place I'm going, but they'll be done in Breckenridge. They didn't have a trail name. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, and it seems like they kind of settled on Parker and Bogey. And they're about my age, maybe a little bit older. One of them is actually from close to where I live. He's from Coppell, Texas, but they live in North Carolina now. It's really pretty this morning. But so far, I really haven't hiked with anybody. They would be the closest thing, I would say, to anybody I've hiked with. And there's a father-son duo. Maybe like, son looks like he might be maybe like a freshman in college, and the dad's like 50 or so. They're doing the same thing. They're doing a section hike from Bailey to Breckenridge. They are from Colorado. Really sore last night. I am fully on board the pain train right now. I considered just taking one day in Breckenridge, but I'm almost certainly going to take two. I don't know that it's really even an option. If I want to finish this trail, I'm going to have to take those extra days and give my body a chance to heal up a little bit, because man, my hips, and I got this thing going on my right foot on the inside, kind of by my ankle. It's normal, but I'm a little bit older now, and I just need to pay attention to it because I want to finish. I don't want to get knocked off the trail because of some minor injury that I didn't take care of. And all right, I'll talk to you later. It's shaping up to be another beautiful day out here on the Colorado Trail. We'll see if it turns into another day of racing the storms to my campsite. All right, about to start our climb of Georgia Pass. I'm gonna climb about 2,000 feet over the next 4.5 miles, and we'll get up to just shy of 12,000 feet of elevation, somewhere right around like 11.9. So it'll be our first time up that high. And here we go. So I've cost myself about 3/4 of a mile today. When I left camp this morning, it was dark, and I stayed in that campground, so I wasn't quite sure exactly where the trail started back again, and I got going the wrong way. That cost me about 0.3, 0.4, and I just wasn't paying attention here. Going to Georgia Pass splits off. I took a little detour trail that goes down to a little campsite down there, picnic area. But the positive is, that little area that I went to, they had some nice pit toilets, so I was able to go to the bathroom. And they had trash dumpsters there where I could throw my trash away. One of the cool things about doing these long distance hikes is you learn to appreciate just real simple stuff. Being able to throw my trash away, that was like a big deal. I was really happy when I got over there and saw those trash bins. It really, once I realized I had gone the wrong way, it was like, okay, well, I might have went down there anyway, had somebody told me that was there. But back on trail now and still headed up to Georgia Pass. At 11,600 feet right now, still on Georgia Pass. Definitely feeling the effects of the higher altitude. Man, those mountains are pretty back there. Look at that. Try to get my ugly face out of there. There we go. Going very slow. Still have like a mile to go to get to the top, to get about another 300 feet elevation. All right. Almost to the top of Georgia Pass now. Right now, at about 11,730 feet. And I think the pass is at 11.9. There's a trail goes up there, goes up, wraps around that little hill up there. But man, the breathing's getting me. I'm ready to be up and over this thing. Like I've been climbing this pass all day. All right, made it to the top of Georgia Pass. Beautiful. Storm coming in. I gotta get down. No lightning or anything, but some thunder, rain. I don't want to get caught up here in a storm. Good morning. It's day 8, and do a quick wrap up of day 7 here because I was too tired to do it last night. Quickly, day 7 was all about getting up and over Georgia Pass. And the highlights of that: barely beat a storm at the top. Had to duck for a little while under some coverage. And but the downside, the descent off of Georgia Pass is rocky, man, rocky and roots. And maybe it's just because I did it yesterday, but I feel like it maybe is the worst descent I've ever done as far as being just rocky. It just trashed my feet. So, but got to the goal campsite last night. Day 8 started really early, 4 o'clock this morning. My goal is 10 miles by 10 o'clock this morning. That was my goal on the PCT. Once I'd got up, I don't know, a few hundred miles in, I was a stronger hiker at that point, faster and a little bit younger, but I want to try it again this morning. So I've been going fast, taking no breaks, and just want to see if I got a little juice left in the tank, if I can still do 10 by 10. So going fast, plus getting into Breck Frisco today. I want to get there as soon as possible. It's a little extra motivation to move fast. And I think that's it, so I'm gonna get going, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, I was trying to do this 10 miles by 10 o'clock in the morning on an empty stomach. Just got up and took off, and I'm on track, but man, I need some energy. So make some oatmeal real quick. Should be easy to find because there's not hardly anything left in my food bag. Sunflower seeds. There it is. Not much. Some protein powder to throw in there. Let that cook while I go pee. All right, that break cost me about 20 minutes, but I seriously needed some fuel. Still on pace to get the 10 miles by 10 o'clock, maybe even a little earlier, depending on the terrain and the climbs. And if I hit one of those crazy rocky sections, that slows me down dramatically. But got hydrated back there, got some food, should have plenty of energy now to hit my goal. We'll see. Yeah, the tough thing about taking those breaks, definitely needed. You got to take them, you got to eat, you got to rehydrate, but everything just stiffens up, man. Like all my joints were doing just fine. And I took that break, now they're all cold. It's like once I'm going, I can go pretty good, but it takes me a while to get moving. Get everything all loosened up again. All loosey-goosey. So I'd hit 5 miles by, it was like 6:40 this morning. I'd hit 5, so I felt fine stopping to take a little break. Since I was ahead, because I was really kind of on track to hit 10 miles by 9. So if I had to guess now, I'm predicting 10 miles by 9:47 a.m. That's my prediction. You know what the little tagline for the Army was back when I went to basic training back in 1989? The tagline, when they had their commercials on TV, was, "Join the Army. We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day." I'm kind of feeling like that today. A couple other guys stayed in that same campsite that I stayed in last night. One is 23 and one is about 73. There's a big age gap. And I'm 56, so we had kind of everything covered almost. I'm guessing Nomad, who's 73, is already up and moving. Old guys, we don't like to sleep late, or we just can't sleep late. Hotfoot is his name. It's like 23. I'm sure I'm gonna be I'll be at 10 miles before that dude even wakes up, I bet. He said he likes to sleep until like 10 or so. And believe me, there's days I wish I could sleep till 10. have to be on some serious drugs to knock me out that long. But I was crashed by 7:30 at the latest. I think I was out sound asleep by like 7. Woke up at 2:45 to get moving and get packed up. So I got plenty of sleep. It just sounds crazy getting up that early and hiking through the dark in my headlamp. It was blackout, no moonlight, no nothing. My headlamp, I guess I didn't charge it good enough last night, but it started going out. It powers down in 3 different phases. You got the brightest phase, then a medium, then a low phase. Man, it powered down to low. Oh man, by like 4:45, and it was still dark. So I had to get my phone out and use my phone's flashlight. So I'm carrying my phone in one hand, my trekking poles in the other hand, scanning the woods for bears. I started getting creeped out because I saw something on our map the other day. I guess one of the trails is called Blair Witch Trail. Started thinking about that in the nighttime while I'm hiking. That'll give you chills. Hey, so it is 8:37 and I'm only 0.7 miles away from hitting 10 miles. So I am easily going to hit that. And that's with a 20-minute little break there to eat some oatmeal. I'm pretty proud of that. I hadn't done 10 by 10 since 2021. That's 5 years ago. I am excited to get into town. I am afraid I have already lost probably an unhealthy amount of weight. I would guess I've probably lost about 7 pounds already. Appetite's just not that great the higher up you get, and kind of hard to take the time to stop and eat. And then plus, I really didn't do my food supply very good. We've talked about that already. Ran kind of low. That's all right. Makes it more of an adventure. The sun just really came out pretty strong, so I'm gonna have to stop here in a second and shed this beanie and this fleece. Maybe right here is a good spot because I gotta go pee anyway. A small change of plan. Changing clothes there. I kept the fleece, but nothing underneath. I got rid of that sun hoodie that was underneath it because that sun hoodie and then my t-shirt, those are the only 2 shirts that I have. And man, they stink. Stanky. They both smell like rotten onions. I'm about to get on that bus that goes into Frisco. So for the sake of the other passengers, put on this fleece, which is mildly less smelly. I'm not sure that it can mask the stench coming from my actual body. This is bad. It's stinky. Stinky! Hey, sweetie. I just wanted to say hi, tell you I love you. And I just happened to come across this bench and my back is killing me. So sitting against something with a back feels really good. About 7 miles from town, and hopefully this one comes through. It keeps going between 1 and 2 bars of service. But just sitting here on this bench, taking in a little view. Had an orange to give me a little more strength to finish. And give those dogs a big hug for me. I love you. Bye.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, so what's your name?
Well, I'm the gifter now, apparently.
Oh, that's right.
But my name's Owen. Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of just gave him that name because
Yeah.
he gifted me a whole bunch of food,
and some walnuts and other
which
stuff,
worked out
yeah.
good because I'm going on oatmeal and one orange
Yeah,
today.
and I'm finishing today, so I'm in Frisco. And
You went from
yeah,
Denver?
From Denver to Frisco, yeah.
Denver to Frisco.
Yeah. So I'm happy to give it away, get some extra weight off and
You know
just
what?
cruise to the bus station and everything.
21 years old?
Yeah.
This is an impressive guy. Y'all be on the lookout for the gifter.
Thank you, Night Ranger.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, wrapping up day 8 here and wrapping up this segment that went from Bailey to the Breckenridge, Frisco area. I'm staying in Frisco, got a hotel here. It's kind of a through hiker hotel. Not the nicest in the world, but it will do very nicely. Took about 17 miles to get in today, which was why I was pushing it so hard this morning to get that 10 miles by 10 in the morning. And remember, I said somewhere in that video today that I predicted I would get the 10-mile mark by 9:47 a.m. I got it by 9:45 a.m. That was a good guess. I got it within 2 minutes. Pretty good. So really happy I made that. Met a really nice kid there towards the end. I was really struggling on food, and he just happened to come by, and he was doing just a section hike. He was going from Bailey to Breckenridge, and that's it. And he had way too much food, and he offered it. I took it, and he was just a really nice kid. He wanted to walk the rest of the way together, so we finished out the day together. And it was a lot of fun because I haven't had that much conversation this entire trip. So that was nice. I have met some other through hikers here recently that I've had we've camped together a couple of times. I don't think anybody will be getting up as early as I get up and go. I don't think that's going to happen very often. So I'll probably be solo pretty much most of the time, which I'm okay with. I've got to go tomorrow to REI to get some new shoes. These other shoes are not really working out very well. They're really not helping my feet at all. And I'll stay here in Frisco tomorrow night to clean up my gear. I've already done some laundry in the sink in there. I washed all my stuff in the sink, and man, it smells bad, really bad. So that's all hanging out to dry right now. I've got my gear all laid out to dry. It just gets, even if it doesn't get rained on out there, it just soaks up moisture from the night and the storms and stuff. So everything gets kind of wet and damp. So drying all that out. And thank you, Monique, for setting up the hotel for me. That was super helpful because that was, I didn't do the math very good on when I could get into Breckenridge. And when I found out that I could get in today, if I really pushed it, I was on top of the mountain there, and there's a storm coming in, and I had a little bit of a signal, so I was chatting with her, and she went in, but I couldn't have enough signal to where I could get online and book a hotel, so she did that for me. So I appreciate that. That was a big help. Want to say hi to Quinny. Hi, Quinny. Pawpaw misses you. I'm proud of you for doing so good in school. I'm going to come see you soon, okay? You be a good girl. Pawpaw loves you. Bye.